Tour players, followed by a wedge or an iron. Be interesting to see what the guys use today for their initial tee shots.
Always got to think about that water to the left-hand side. Maybe in Ross Hyam's mind here, but he looks comfortable enough up on the tee. But this is when the nerves, Matt, really start.
Yeah, absolutely. Wind slightly out the left, not a wind the right-handed players really like, so expect to see some nervy swings here.
Hyam then to get this playoff final underway, and here we go. The Trilby Tour Amateur Playoff is certainly started for Ross Hyam, and a little bit of luck there, but that looks okay. Gone way right, so didn't take the water on at all, but he's not on the fairway.
You just caught the wispy grass there. It's going to leave him a second shot over those bunkers that guard the front right side.
Colin Howard then next on to the tee. 5 handicapper from Hertfordshire, qualified through on the second day of the Buckinghamshire qualifiers, as did Charlie Lydiard and Ross Hyam. And interestingly enough, there are no London Club qualifiers in this final playoff. Colin Howard then to feel the pressure of the Trilby Tour, and I think he's tugged it.
His arms have just outrun his body there and closed the club face down. That's come off on a quick hook to the left. Going to be interesting to see if that's found the water.
Two very different emotions there. Brett Pardo then, the man that qualified through from the north, from Moortown, originally from New Zealand, now based in West Yorkshire, again off 5. This boy can hit the ball a long way.
And out there with a 3-wood, there's a bunker down the right at about 300 yards, just trying to avoid that. Looks like he's pulled that slightly left as well. Anxious look.
Trouble for 2 of our playoff finalists already, and Colin Howard and Brett Pardo. Well, you hesitate to say it, Matt, but in a sprint like this over 3 holes, it could be over for them already.
Well, I think someone's just offered him some water wings. I think he's going to be all right.
Next on to the tee then, the man that beat everybody today, Charlie Lydiard, with the best score in regulation play, but that guarantees you nothing on the Trilby Tour except a place in the playoff. And now he's got to do it all again. 10, 11 and 18 are the playoff holes, which he played very well in regulation, and he looks pretty comfortable up there as well. 3 iffy tee shots so far, just Lydiard to go. His campaign is underway, a solid firm strike, Matt Woods.
Yeah, great tee shot there, just down the right hand side, going to leave him about 165 yards into the flag, and a great look up the green.
Right, let's get back to Lee Sharp to see what the panel think of those tee shots.
Well, you can feel the tension down here. It's absolutely electric. And John, you were saying off the first there, when people get nervous, they tend to block it.
Well, the tendency at all the Ryder Cups is that the players under pressure don't complete the backswing and lose the ball to the right. But quite unusual here, apart from the first player who went to the right, the other 2 players pulled it into the water.
That's right, and John, you'll know exactly how they're feeling now.
Yeah, I was drawn 3rd last year, and I learned a lot from the first 2 guys that hit off the tee. There was a lot of wind off the left-hand side, quite similar to this evening, and Charlie really learned a lot by, I think he hit 3-wood off the tee and just kept it in play, and he's just in the light rough on the right-hand side. Really have learned a lot from the 3 guys that went before him.
Yeah, and Richard, no shot coming out of the water there.
No, obviously those 2 guys in the water are taking a drop. I mean, and they've obviously got some trouble early on. It's interesting, I think, to look at this when you feel the pressure here, as we all did on the first tee. You've got the 1 and the 2 handicapper are the guys that are in play, and the 2 guys off 5. It's a tough thing to stand there and do it, but I think we saw with the swings and the way they went about the shot that the 2 lower handicap players, not surprisingly perhaps, were the guys that got the ball into play.
So the 2 low handicappers in the driving seat. Back to you, Simon.
Thank you, Lee. Yes, Colin Howard and Brett Pardo with a lot of work to do, so a drop straight away, Matt. How's that going to leave him feeling mentally?
A little bit shell-shocked, I would say, at this early stage. Obviously, it's only a 3-hole sprint here. He doesn't want to get too much distance between him and the leader. He's got over 250 yards to the front of the green, so he'll just be advancing this out with a wedge, trying to move it 125 yards, leave himself a decent 4th shot in, try and salvage as much as he can out of this hole.
Well, it's an oft-used phrase, but take your medicine applies right now. There's no way he can get anywhere near that flag.
No, he could stay in there all day long and not get anywhere near this green. So this is the right decision. He's got a wedge here. Just be looking to move this, like we said, 125 yards down the fairway. Good looking swing. Get himself back in play and try and limit the damage.
Well, he won't feel particularly positive at the moment, but Colin Howard doing the right thing there under pressure. Brett Pardo also had to take a drop. He's got a slightly cleaner lie, and we know that he hits the ball a long way, so he might just try and have a lash at this. Did just that. How far's he got it?
It's come a little out the toe, not quite out the middle. It's going to be some 50-60 yards short, I'd think. But again, a sensible shot. It's going to leave himself a straightforward pitch back up the green. Can see the flag. Really got to try and limit the damage and keep themselves in this sprint.
Not bad recoveries then by Pardo and Howard. But as we said, and as the panel said, it is Lydiard and Hyam that hold all the cards here. Howard then with his fourth shot. Got to get this one to the pin if he's going to have any sort of chance in this playoff final. Oh, dream shot. What a recovery.
Great shot that. If he can now make that putt, that really gets him right back in amongst it.
Well played, Colin Howard. And that's a smile back on his face. So a little bit of pressure put back on Lydiard and Hyam. Lydiard with the best of the tee shots.
Going in here with about an 8 or a 7 iron. Just got to be careful of those front traps. I reckon that's probably about a 7 iron, just taken a touch off of it. Big first bounce there, it's unlucky. Just gone back into the back fringe. It's going to leave him a tricky little chip down the green.
They're in two though. Lydiard certainly in pole position. Now for Hyam, it's all about how this ball is lying. That grass can be punishing.
Yeah, absolutely. This can do one of two things. Either jump out, fly straight over the back, or just come out a little soft. I think he's just got the latter. Just a bit of grass there, just taken some of the energy away.
Oh my goodness. Well, the drama has started. We're not even up to the first green yet, and the Trilby Tour drama has already kicked in. Pardo then with his fourth shot had to do something with this, had to get it close, and in the end it was okay, but it's going to be a struggle for Brett Pardo to get himself back in. For Ross Hyam, Matt, what a bunker shot he faced.
Yeah, he was unlucky there with his second shot. Now this is only a bunker shot of about 6, 7, 8 yards, but high lip in front of him, needs to get the ball up quickly, really try and generate some spin and get it close to that flag. Slightly high risk shot this. And that's ball first rather than the sand. It's just come out a bit clean. Now he's really going to leave himself a tough shot here. Downwind, down green, coming out the heavy rough. Very difficult to have any control on this ball whatsoever.
Well, the body language told it all as Ross Hyam marched up to that ball. To get it up and down from here will be some feat. And the pressure continuing to mount. So young Ross Hyam, just 21 years of age, finding out what the Trilby Tour playoff is all about. John O'Leary, he's been in a few playoffs over the years. John Lynch, a previous year's winner, and Richard Simmons from Golf International magazine. The panel watching on with interest.
Bit of an interesting chip this, back foot, hands forward, just nudging it forward. He's played that beautifully. Going to leave himself about 18 inches there for par, so really well executed little chip shot.
Great appreciation from the panel. Charlie Lydiard fired up, and this an exquisite chip under pressure.
I really like the interaction between Charlie Lydiard and his caddy Adrian Stewart here today, keeping it quite light-hearted.
Yeah, they are. It's certainly paying off at the moment. Lydiard in pole position, Pardo under pressure. Is it going to break for him? No, Matt, he's just been conned by the greens here at the London Club.
Yeah, definite misread there. I mean, the ball almost moved left. He was definitely aiming, 18 inches outside the left of the hole, expecting it to break back to the right. Something for the rest of the players to keep an eye on.
This is a must for Hyam. We said an up and down from the back of the green would be priceless.
Yeah, slight uphill putt here. We'll be looking to hit this quite firm. Just moved a fraction left on him. Slight misread. Not the ideal start he was looking for. Double bogey 6 there on the first hole.